This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Mm-hmm. Dun, 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 dun.
No. Y'all, just stop. This is a sham.
Welcome, y'all, to DBL. We got Al, we got Tori, and we got Jeff joining us remote.
Hey.
Schroeder, how you doing?
Good. Man, I just made it. I was a little late to the party. The kids are going bananas over here. So
oh, man.
I hope this is how I look. So let's do this.
I love it. I think you speak for a lot of parents.
Yeah, that actually is true. Al was like, how much time do we have right before? And then the music started. And he's like, okay, I don't have any time. So we're all late. Don't worry about it. All right, we do have an update on Bob Saget's possible cause of death. Authorities did an autopsy, and the medical examiner in Florida said there was zero evidence of drug use, zero evidence of foul play. So investigators are still looking into the official cause of death and say it could take up to 12 weeks. Now, police are saying that the way his body was found could point to a sudden heart attack. He was reportedly found laying face up with his left hand over his heart and his right hand at his side. Jeff, I also want to get your take on this. He did have COVID. And to be honest with you, when Al first texted everyone, I thought it might be COVID. He did joke about it on a podcast. Let's take a look and hear that.
It is not good. It does not feel good. I had it. And,
that's not good.
I don't know if I had Delta or I might have had a combo. Maybe at one point they were working together. I don't know. I think at one point Omicron was opening for Delta, but then Omicron got so big, Delta's opening now.
Yeah, they switched you're right. They switched the lineup.
That's still so funny. So what do you think about this, Jeff, and why do you think we so want to know?
I don't know. He doesn't sound great there, which
I was thinking that
I don't
too,
know
Jeff.
when that was recorded or, as opposed to him passing away. I don't know why we need to know. The medical examiner, I think the most important thing, or I shouldn't say important, that's the wrong word. People want to know if it was drug related.
Right.
For some strange reason, people are obsessed with that type of death, right? It's like a Hollywood death. You overdose in some sort of way. It's like glorifying. That aside, why don't we treat more people that are alive on this planet that we do at the same time with the people that pass away? Bob Saget, now he's getting all these things. What a great guy he was over the years. Bob Saget, I'm sorry, never said anything bad, never had a bad moment in his life, but yet people push that aside and they focus on the good. Why can't we do that with people that are living?
Right.
Al, what do you think? And also a quick note from our producers. That podcast was January 5th. That's less than a week ago.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you, Jeff, that he didn't sound great in that. And it's a scary thing. And Jeff, to answer your question, at least to the best of my ability, when you say, why do people care if it might have been drugs? Because I found myself doing the same thing, when I'm texting friends. I'm a comic, so I had a lot of friends that work with Bob a lot. And I was like, I asked myself in real time, why do you care?
Really?
And it was really that I think we're all searching for answers when it seems like a great person that looked healthy, relatively healthy, just drops away. And I think there's something inside of our brain that just needs to rationalize that and make sense of that. So even if it would have tragically been drugs, which it was not,
right.
I want to make that. If it had been, we would have at least been able to say, well, that's why it happened. Good people just don't die, Jeff. He died because he made bad decisions, or he died because he ate the wrong thing. But sometimes people just die, and it's hard to explain that to Leighton and Lawson, your kids. It's hard to explain that to my 3 kids. It's hard to explain when people just die and it seems like they're healthy and it comes out of nowhere. But that's part of life, and that's why it seems cliche, but everybody says live every day like it's your last, because one day you're going to be right.
And also, just to peep in, and we'll switch topics here, but I just want to say he was also like everybody's dad. And I know if like someone close to me, a relative, died just unexpectedly at 65, like I would want to know, because I feel like I owe it to them, and I feel like I owe it to Bob Saget in a weird way. Like I feel like I'm related to him. I know I'm not. I'm just saying he was in our living rooms all, and he felt like it.
I just want to follow that up, Tori. If he was still alive and started running for office tomorrow, we would shred him apart in the media.
Yeah.
Everyone would pull out all the skeletons out of his closet.
Yeah.
But if you die, you say all the positive things. I'm not trying to discourage Bob Saget here. I'm saying people have a choice of how they treat other people. That's what I'm saying moving forward.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I love you both. I just want to let you guys know that.
Love you too,
girl.
girl.
I love you both. Jeff?
It's your birthday tomorrow and you're trying to get like extra presents or something.
All right, we'll move on. Well, as you were speaking about this, Bob Saget's friends and family, just like you were saying, continue to mourn his loss. Stars like John Stamos, Candace Cameron Bure, and John Mayer were seen visiting his wife, Kelly Rizzo. In a statement, Kelly said Bob was her whole heart and her absolute everything. She added that she is completely shattered and in disbelief and said she looks forward to sharing more of Bob with the world. Fellow stand-up comedian Jim Carrey tweeted a throwback pic of the two and said Bob had a big, big heart, and I love how he said this, a wonderfully warped comic mind. Tiffany Haddish called Bob one of her first great teachers and that he always made her feel safe and worthy. And his longtime friend, Jimmy Kimmel, fought back tears as he remembered Bob in a pre-recorded monologue before the show. Get some tissues and watch.
Bob was the sweetest. He was the sweetest man. When my son was in the hospital, Bob checked in a lot. So I want to send love to his daughters, to his wife Kelly, and to his friends who loved him so much. He was very kind to everyone, and he had no problem telling you that he loved you and what you meant to him.
Jeff, that's sort of speaking to what you said. He lived the life you were saying. He let everyone know when they were alive that he loved them.
Yeah, and you know what? I think most people do, Tori. Bob Saget's a special guy, right?
Yeah.
I said this yesterday. When you have friends in show business, especially for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, that's something special, especially in this business, right? But it goes back to the same thing. I think most people are loving. Most people check in on their friends. Most people love their community. Yeah. But yet, we have this small percentage that takes over everything, and I don't mean to keep going back here, that ruins it for the rest of us, and it makes the world a worse place. People don't want to go to their downtown. People don't want to travel anymore. People are good. People are good, and when we have the opportunity to talk good about someone, it's only when they die. We need to start focusing on that when we're alive and start treating each other better. Again, rest in peace, Bob Saget. I'm not making an example out of you. I'm just saying we need to change the way we treat each other.
I mean, I think you're absolutely right. And real quick, just to add to that, Bob Saget also apparently, Pete Davidson came out and said during his mental struggles and his drugs spiraling, Bob would call his mom, stay on the phone until he got help. I mean, this guy really is an example.
Yeah.
Is an inspiration.
It's a real friend.
Yeah. It's a real, exactly.
That's what a real friend does.
That's a good point. All right, let's move on to Ayesha Curry, because this was interesting. She's defending her marriage to NBA star Steph Curry. Late last year, rumors began to swirl that the two, who have been married for 10 years, had some kind of arrangement where they could see other people. So after Ayesha posted a photo of her husband on Instagram, one person decided to confront her. The person said Ayesha apparently wants an open relationship with Steph, to which Ayesha responded, quote, "Don't believe everything you read. Do you know how ridiculous that is? Don't respect my marriage like that.
Don't disrespect.
Please and thank you. Don't disrespect, please and thank you." Al, what do you think about this? And also, let me just say, no one here, at least I'm not judging an open marriage. We're just simply saying that's none of your business, and it's not true, perhaps.
Well, they are celebrities, so their business is the public's business. Fortunately or unfortunately, that's kind of what you sign up for when you do that. You can approach celebrity where you are a little bit more closed off, or you can be kind of open and capitalize off it. She had a cookbook and things like that. She talks about her marriage, her struggles with weight loss. So that's cool too. But you are going to get people in your business when you put your business out there. We're not really in Tom Hanks' business because he doesn't do that.
Right.
So when they do kind of complain about this, I get where she's coming from. Don't disrespect my marriage. Shut that rumor down. I get it. But at the same time, when you put your marriage on display for everybody, for all to see, this is going to happen. And also, nothing wrong with an open marriage.
Right.
Use your words. Talk about it with your partner.
Jeff, do you think it's open, fair game for celebs a little bit more?
I think so. If you're, listen, I'm a little confused. Do they have an open marriage or they don't?
She's saying no, but a lot of people are saying a lot of people thought yes, and she's clearly saying no. Do you know how disrespectful and strange that is and ridiculous? She's saying no, flat out.
Okay, so there's nothing really to talk about here? They're not.
No, but do you think that celebrities?
I don't know where to go here. If they were openly saying I'm in an open relationship, then yes, we could judge them and talk about them, and I would say that's not something for me. But then you would say, who are you to say that? Well, they just said that they were in it, so I'm commenting on what they were saying. But they're not saying anything, so there's nothing really to comment on.
I think that the harder question is, where did this come from? I mean, I'm assuming that these internet commenters didn't pick their names out of a hat. There must have been some kind of smoke. Jeff, you and your wife are famous people. I've never heard this rumor about you. So why is this rumor out there about them? We've heard this rumor about some people that are in open marriages. I don't think that they are, but I wonder what was the smoke that led people to. It had to have been something.
And I agree with you, but my question is it our business? And what you so interestingly just said, and Jeff, I wanted to get your take on this, was it is our business because they chose to be in a celebrity. That family chose fame. So they chose to be in the public's eye. Do we have more of a right as a public to question them and get in their business because they chose that? And there are perks that come with that.
Again, I don't know if you guys heard that me and Jordan want to be astronauts, and I'm like, listen, that's wrong. Me and Jordan don't really want to go to space. Wouldn't that be the end of it? Like, why you keep asking me if I want to be an astronaut? That's not true.
But what if she kept posting pictures from the Space Center? And what if she's showing us with her training over the last 9 months? Like, people they follow your life.
They do.
So I'm just saying, there might be something there.
But they clearly said they are not in an open relationship. So what are we chasing?
We're chasing the moon. You and Jordan have fun as astronauts. Coming up on DBL. Would you put tape on your face to look younger? Why doing this could prevent wrinkles before they start. And the Fresh Prince is back, but with a much darker twist. I loved the trailer. We've got scenes from the reboot coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
Yeah, we're talking about the Fresh Prince reboot that we're going to be showing you guys. And I don't know if you remember 3 years ago, Morgan Cooper, who's a really great filmmaker. You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram, whatever. He created this like 1 minute trailer for a darker Fresh Prince where like a new reboot of a young kid who gets in like really bad gun violence ends up and has to be in a different family and deal with the different cultures. And it was so well done. I mean, he did it from an iPhone, basically. And it finally got up to Will Smith and went viral, viral, viral. Will Smith saw it. 3 years later, Will Smith puts out the trailer and says, yeah, we did it. So Morgan Cooper created this entire new reboot. And it's really interesting. Carlton is like really angry at Will. Uncle Phil is not kind. Vivian, like Aunt Viv has a different take. And it's all about like the gun violence and the different culture. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
does it feel weird to you to see a different take on it? Like, why not create a different story?
It'll feel weird for me, but I always say there's always new people on the planet. So people that are my kids' age, actually my kids do watch the rerun, so that
do they?
Yes.
So why not make a new story?
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think. Well, there have been like kind of different takes on Spider-Man. They did a different take with Batman where they made it darker.
How many Jokers have there been?
Yeah. So it's like, I mean, there is precedent for kind of taking things that were kind of silly and making them darker, and there being some success, because I do think that people, it's an interesting setup anyway. A fish out of water story, basically.
It's a dramatic story,
but like taking into account like that, I could see Carlton being like, who is this dude? Rather than being like, oh, I've got this guy in my house now that makes fun of me constantly.
Exactly. Like,
I don't know how happy I'd be about that.
Right. And they show him going to school, and you remember Will would always put his hat and do stuff like inside out, and you see him do that, and like no one's into it, and he's like has to figure this out and like feel it out. And he's like, where am I? It's really interesting. I don't know. Welcome back to DBL. Move over, Will Smith. There's a new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the TV show, simply called Bel-Air. It debuts next month, and it's based off a concept from a filmmaker, an amateur filmmaker, who reimagined the show as a drama. Take a look.
Oh, Uncle Phil! I'm glad you're safe. We'll talk later.
Cousin Will!
Yo! Is this really baby Ashley?
You're a long way from home, Mom.
Oh, Tim. How you been? You know, thriving. I hope one day we can talk about why you're really here.
So Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith are behind the new show, which debuts on February 13th after the Super Bowl. I watched the entire trailer, and I saw Will Smith. If you guys don't remember, Morgan Cooper created this 3 years ago. Will Smith said 3 years later, it's actually going to become a show. I thought it was awesome, and they took it in a different way, Al, because Carlton was really upset with Will, like, interfering in his life. And school, like, when Will Smith, like, wears his jacket backwards and inside out, it doesn't, like, fly with the other kids. So there's this cultural dissonance.
Right.
What do you think?
I mean,
it was really interesting.
Definitely. And Jeff, I don't know if you watched the trailer, but it looks like we're going from a sitcom, which is a situation comedy, to a dark dramedy.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how much comedy will be in here. But I do think, first of all, I think it looks really cool.
Yeah.
And I think that they've taken the characters in the reboot, and they've gone from two-dimensional to multi-dimensional, in that, like, Dr. Phil's not just this loving uncle.
Right.
Like, he's got different parts of his personality. Carlton has a life that we see before Will comes in, and he's fiercely protective of that. So, Jeff, I'm interested in this new take. What do you think, buddy?
I got a Tory joke here. They should name it the refreshed Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh my God, that is so good.
How did they miss that?
That is so good. I can't even stand it. That's so good.
That's a total. Tory's rubbing off on me, and I hate it. I think this is a cool twist. I like when people twist things up and they give you a different take. If you go on YouTube right now, and this was before the new Karate Kid, the Cobra Kai thing came out. Yeah. Someone clipped together, and they do this with other movies too, but they made it that Daniel was the bad guy just from clips of the movie. So how you arrange certain clips and what you plug in, you could totally flip the narrative, and I think that's what they did here with the new Prince of Bel-Air, is flip that narrative. And I think that's kind of cool when people play with things like that.
I do too, and can I be honest? I think it's really cool that Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith are hands-on interested in this young filmmaker up and coming and getting involved in that. I think that's a really part of this. You know what I mean?
I think it's a good lesson for people as well, Jeff, that, you know, you can look at one story and be like, this is a story, but it's like, well, let's look at the story from Dr. Phil's perspective, from Carlton. And it's like, that's a great way to look at life. Like, everything isn't just a straight, you know, black, I called him Dr. Phil instead of Uncle Phil.
Can you imagine if Dr. Phil...
I would rather go on the Uncle Phil show, to be honest.
What do you think?
No, I just think it's creative. I think it's very creative how they did that. Like Al said, you get to see a different character's point of view and make that character the star that would maybe in another movie or whatever TV show be in the background.
I love it.
You know who's doing that really quickly? The Star Wars universe. Like, they've got the Mandalorian now. We're looking at the Star Wars universe from different people's point of view.
That's very smart.
All right, we got it.
I know, I hear. I did want to say, well, now I forgot. Coming up on DBL, turning back the time with tape. Why some people are using this common household item as a beauty product.
Finding a COVID test has been really difficult for a lot of us, but if you can get your hands on one, there are two different kinds that you might be able to choose from: a molecular PCR test and a rapid antigen test. So let's verify, when's the best time to use each one? We took that question to these three experts: Dr. Ayesha Curry, Dr. Gigi Granval, and Dr. William Maurice. First, let's break down what makes these tests different.
There's really two things when you think about a test. There's specificity and sensitivity.
That's specificity. If you get a positive result, what's the chance you actually have the virus? And sensitivity. If you have the virus, what's the chance that you get a positive result?
We know the antigen tests most of them are quite specific still, but they are somewhat less sensitive.
Here's the big difference. PCR tests are so sensitive that they'll catch even the smallest amount of virus before and after the time when you're contagious.
PCR positivity does not correlate with contagiousness. Antigen tests will become negative as soon as someone's viral load or viral shedding drops below a threshold that's associated with contagiousness.
So, when should you take each test?
If, let's say, you've been exposed and you don't have symptoms and you really need to know, you really need to answer with much more degree of certainty, a PCR test would be better.
When it comes to exiting isolation, the rapid test has been seen as a better indicator.
The antigen test is a great tool because you're asking the test to tell you whether or not you're contagious, whether you're a danger to others.
So we could verify that when you need to know for certain if COVID is causing your illness, go for the PCR. But if you want to know whether you're contagious, a rapid antigen may be your best bet. Now, obviously, that was a lot of information, so we broke it all down and put it on our website. Just text VERIFIED to 202-895-5599. We'll send a link right to your phone.
Welcome back to DBL. As usual, a TikTok video is going viral of a woman using something pretty much everyone already has at home to help make her skin look younger. So let's take a look.
Involuntary movements cause lines and wrinkles that you will have for the rest of your life. So I was introduced to something called tape training. The whole point of doing this, the tape will crinkle and make noise as you move. So when you hear that noise, you become aware that you're making expression. And before you know it, you start to train yourself not to make these involuntary movements.
Why would you not want to have expression on your face? Okay, while she uses the tape to help prevent wrinkles in the future, there are also people who use face tape to create like an instant facelift. Watch this.
This will give you an instant facelift, or if not, it can just make you look like really snatched. It can change the shape of your face. They're completely invisible and you're super snatched.
Super snatch. So using tape for your face is something that has been around for many years.
What about using the word snatch twice in 10 seconds?
Like 10 seconds every day. Okay. Stars like Gaga, Cher have been using it and been open about using it to lift and shape their faces. Jeff, you did a little bro talks with Al very openly. How about some tape training at home?
Listen, Tori, full disclosure, we did this story yesterday on a different show. I'm not going down that rabbit hole again. You and another co-host, Sam, turned this into a women's march about tape on your face and women's rights. So you guys could have this one. I'm going to step out of it because I had picketers outside my house with cardboard signs saying women face tape 2022.
That was me.
That was all out.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, cool.
I
thought it was. Never mind.
I mean, I can definitely see this being a thing. My girl watches Botched. I have a lot of my friends that are in and out of entertainment, and a lot of people I know do get Botox.
I got Botox, right. Yeah.
I think a lot of people do. Some people get them for medical reasons, but a lot of people do not. And I think as we are all getting older, it's a little bit. I feel like we're the first generation where the products are a little bit better, so when you do dye your hair, it doesn't look as probably ridiculous as it did in 1975.
Right.
When you do get some work done, you don't turn into the cat lady, because surgeries have gotten better.
Yes,
everything's gotten better. So I think a lot of people, if they do have some means, will get things done to make themselves feel better. So I think if you have less means, I think the tape is the way to go. I wouldn't do it. Do you look silly?
What?
Yes, but if you look, it's not for me. But I'm saying if you do not have money to get Botox,
you're encouraging this behavior. You're encouraging the word snatch used twice in 10 seconds. This is ridiculous. If you do this, you are insane.
But what if you?
Okay. If you do this, you are insane. If you came to my house with tape on your face and I saw you, I would have a conversation with you outside because it's your time to leave. That's what I would do.
But maybe it's safer and cheaper than Botox? I hear you, though. You're telling me it's insane.
No, don't do that.
Okay.
Don't do that. We're all going to get older. Don't put tape on your face and use the word snatch ever.
These are the golden rules from Jeff Schroeder. We'll be right back. No snatched, no tape.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
The type of mask you use has probably evolved over the pandemic. If you've recently upgraded to a surgical mask or KN95 or an N95 mask, you're probably missing the convenience of being able to wash it and reuse a cloth mask. But there's a lot of chatter online about a paper bag trick, like this post on Instagram that shows how to sanitize your mask in a paper bag to be worn again. Is there any truth to this trick? Our sources are Dr. Joe Gastaldo from Ohio Health and Dr. Jessica Shepard, Chief Medical Officer of Verywell Health, based in New York.
The concern about wearing a mask in public, obviously, is if you get particles on it, perhaps even the virus. But if you store it in a dry bag, you are essentially sanitizing it again over a period of time. The KN95 masks do work well, assuming that it is a FDA authorized mask.
So it's not the bag that's doing the magic trick. It's actually the process of keeping the mask, one, away from decontaminating someone else or a surface, and also keeping a dry environment in order for the virus to not spread or stay on the mask.
Our experts recommend storing your mask in a paper bag for 24 to 48 hours in a dry place. So we can verify it's true. You can sanitize your mask in a paper bag so it can be worn again. This is not recommended for healthcare workers, but for you and me, it can extend the life of something we use every day. And thinking about upgrading your mask from a cloth one, our experts say now is the time to do that.
And you really want to think about having the highest quality of mask as possible. When it comes to how a mask performs, the ones that perform the best in public filter up to 95% of particles at 0.3 microns. And in that regard, you have to use an N95 mask. But I think what's more available for the public are KN95 masks.
The thing really is making sure that you can have access to a mask, period. But if you do have the ability to choose between a cloth and an N95, the better option is going to be the N95.
Have something you'd like us to verify? Send us an email with your Verify. I'm Lindsay Mills.
Verify exists to answer your questions about the things you see online. People are sharing on social media that Amazon is jumping into the cryptocurrency market with something called Amazon tokens. If you click on the ad, you're directed to a slick website that connects the purchase of Amazon tokens to a free Amazon Prime membership. So let's verify. Is Amazon entering the cryptocurrency market and offering Amazon tokens? Our source is Amazon, and we can verify right away this is false. Amazon says it does not have any cryptocurrency offering, and it's not offering any Prime promotions in connection with cryptocurrency. An Amazon spokesperson told us, quote, "We take any attempts to misuse our brand seriously, and it, quote, investigates these complaints and uses them to protect customers and hold the bad actors accountable." Amazon says if you see something fishy, report it to Amazon customer service. Got something you want verified? Email the team at verify@WUSA9.com.
Welcome back. If you're looking to spruce up your home decor, we have tips that'll help you save money and look professionally done, and it's all done with tape. Just kidding. It's time for some DBL home hacks presented by American Home Shield. So first, refresh your dated bathroom tiles with a new coat of paint. It is so much more affordable and easier than taking on an entire bathroom renovation. Next, skip those designer art frame TV sets. They can be thousands of dollars, and you can get the same effect by building your own frame around your TV. And finally, you can use affordable IKEA bookshelves. Just use some paint, and you can create a built-in shelf look for any wall. And remember, an American Home Shield home warranty plan helps cover many things homeowners insurance leaves out. So you can rest easy knowing you're ready for whatever breakdowns inevitably strike next. Visit ahs.com to find a plan that's right for you. So I just want to let you guys know there's an Indigo Girls lyric that goes like this. Ready? With every lesson learned, a line upon your beautiful face. And I'll wake up. And I think it's important to know. Don't leave. Oh, DBL's new. We'll be back tomorrow, I guess. Bye, guys.